There have been several times when I have been tempted to give up, but knew I could not give up. I had to hang in there. Churchill's message, never, never, never give up. You know, that's all he said. And then he sat down. He was supposed to give a commencement address to a school, and that's all he said for his entire speech, but it's never been forgotten. I never forgot that either. Jesus, of course, never gave up when he was heading to the cross. In spite of the fact that he knew in all its intensity what he was facing, suffering, death. He also knew the resurrection was happening on Sunday morning. When we began the Crossroads television ministry back in June of 1962, we had a weekly 15-minute black and white program. Along the way, we expanded to half an hour, around 67 maybe. And then at the same time, Channel 9 Toronto said, we can't carry you anymore unless you go to color. Oh, we were black and white. This is the old days. So we had to move down into Central Ontario to find a color television production studio where we could produce Crossroads, the weekly program. Shortly thereafter, we went in a children's production, the Circle Square Children's Telecast, out of which came the Circle Square Ranches across the country. At least 250,000 young people have spent a week each at those ranches over the years. But then came the time in the summer of 1976. I was at a prayer meeting in the city of Hamilton. A treasurer of the Crossroads organization said to me, his name was Ray Edwards. Ray was a member of the provincial parliament at one point and a businessman, city councilor in Hamilton. And Ray was our treasurer, and he said to me, David, I believe we're at the point where if we don't make a major move forward, Crossroads is going to begin to diminish. So I had that in my mind. And at a prayer meeting at the Bethel Church, where I had been a former pastor, I knew that I heard that still small, yet powerful inner voice saying, it's time to go from weekly to daily. There's no way that any television studio where we had been doing our productions was willing to open up for a daily production like that. So I knew we would have to have our own equipment. I knew we were talking about millions of dollars increase in a one-year period or so. Impossible humanly. But I believe we heard from God. And I became convinced that God was more interested in doing this, in having a daily, nightly as well, ministry across our country that would reach huge numbers of people with the message of His love in the person of Jesus Himself.